And I request Meena to introduce Mr. Suraj to the audience, and then Mr. Suraj can take forward.
Oh, Hari Om everyone once again. Uh, Suraj Kumar ji is, as you all know now, the principal of Chinmay Vidyalaya, Bokaro Steel City, which is in Jharkhand. And he's also a CBSE city coordinator for the Bokaro district. He's a district training coordinator, again, for Bokaro. He's had 29 years of experience in different educational institutions. And for the past 15 years, he has been heading the different schools as principal. Some of the schools where he has worked are, of course, premium institutions. One is like the Delhi Public School, Bokaro, GEMS International School, Guwahati, Delhi Public School, Bharuch, Oxford Public School, Ranchi, and now he is our gem. I request Surajji to share his ideas on the art of communication. Over to you, Surajji.
Hari Om, all of you.
Hari Om, sir.
Hari Om, Mr. Suraj.
Yeah.
Go ahead. Yeah.
Hari Om, everyone. So it's a pleasure to be a part of this Vidya Vritti session 3. I'm really thankful to Shanti Amma for giving me this opportunity, Veena Amma for talking so high about me, and Swamiji for his wonderful blessing. It was very nice to hear Leela ma'am and Rekha ma'am about Leela ma'am about Gurudev, and Rekha ma'am about the active learning. It was really marvelous. So I take up the session on art of communication. So what is communication? What do we understand by talking about communication? It's sending or receiving ideas, thoughts or feelings from one person to another or more person in such a way that the person receiving it understands it in the same way the sender wants him or her to understand. See, I am communicating just now with all of you. So what I say, whether I'm able to, communicate the way I want, and you are able to understand the way I'm trying to communicate, that happens or not. So I'll ask simple questions. I'll request you if you could answer and put them in the chat box. There are 6 eggs in a basket. 6 people each take one of the eggs. How can it be that one egg is left in the basket? Another question. Some months like October have 31 days. Only February has precisely 28. How many months have 30 days? Divide 50 by 1/3 and add 7. What is the answer? These are the questions, right? The way you read it and the way you answer them, that actually talks about the focus which you had on these particular questions. Now, the process, the sender, the person initiating the communication or broadcasting the message. Then we have the message. What is the message? These questions which were given, which were told, those are the questions, those are the messages. Then we have the channel. The channel is the through which the message moves on to the receiver. And we get the feedback. The feedback are the answers which you will be writing in the chat box. We have verbal communication. What is that? That talks about the accuracy, brevity, and clarity. Brevity is the short or the crisp form of the communication which we do. Then it has to be, we need to keep it short and simple. It should not be very lengthy. It should not be very long and confusing. It should be crisp. It should be simple. Then the introduction, it must contain introduction, main body of the content, and the summary. The ways to encourage communication. Effective ways are ask effective questions. Don't ask vague questions. It should be effective, intently listening. Leading questions indicates the desire or expected response. You're working on a project report, aren't you? Such type of question will actually catch the attention of the person to whom we are asking questions. You don't have to leave immediately after the meeting, do you? So if you talk like this, probably the people, those to whom you are addressing, they will have the concern, yes, we need to wait for some time. Let the person who is sharing the meeting move out and then we can move out. Providing non-verbal encouragement. Non-verbal encouragement involves making sound such as ah, oh, ooh, okay, as we talk. This reassures the other person that you are giving him or her full attention during the conversation. Now, when we talk about the spoken communication, we need to have a proper pitch, proper inflection, connection. The tone should be good, understandability, rate of speech, enunciation. So the voice, the tone of voice will clarify that your communication is 86% gone into the gone to the receiver and the words are only just 14%. Effective communication, where half of what is said, we listen to half of that, we understand half of that, we believe half of that, and we remember half of that. In spoken communication, people may remember less than 4% of what is actually said. Encouraging communication listening. If God has meant for you to talk more than you listen, He would have given you two more mouths and one ear. But it is just the opposite. Listening means fully and completely understanding the speaker. You don't have to agree with what you hear, but you must understand what was said. So that's very important. Generally, what happens, we listen less and we look around to the person who is talking and our focus is not there. So that is not to be done. Then we have different types of listening. We have passive listening, active listening, and reflective listening. Now, what is passive listening? It involves a mixture of silence and prompts. Ooh, ooh, really? Best approach when the spotlight is on the speaker. Non-verbal clues indicates genuine interest. Active listening. Active listening goes beyond regular listening as a listener encourages the speaker to share information as well as feeling. Right. So in such cases, when there is an active listening happening, then definitely uh, that will give encouragement to the speaker. And that encouragement to the speaker will be able to share information with a lot of feeling. And the last one is reflective listening. In reflective listening, you reflect or echo what the person seems to be feeling by saying something like, it sounds like you're worried about that. It seems as if these instructions are a little confusing for you. So this is reflective listening. When you are listening and when you utter something to the person who is communicating to you, definitely that gives a good feel. Reflective listening is appropriate when a person is worried, frustrated, confused, concerned, or just generally upset. Reflective listening is more than paraphrasing, It's all about acknowledging both content and feeling. Now, what is paraphrasing? Paraphrasing occurs when you restate a speaker's idea in your own words. It makes the person feel that you are listening. It also confirms what has been said and to ensure that there is no mistake. Paraphrasing is often preceded by phrases as, let me make sure I understand what you're saying. In other words, you are saying, now here we have steps for effective communication. The focus should be there 100% on the person who is speaking. Step number 2, when your mind wanders, make eye contact with the speaker. The next step is take notes, write down something when the speaker is telling so that you are connected, you are focused in what the speaker is saying. Quiet your body and mind. Listen. The next point is hear the speaker instead of mentally phrasing your responses. Hear the speaker. You need to hear the speaker instead of mentally phrasing your responses. Delay judging what you hear. Verify that you understand what has been said by paraphrasing and summarizing. Then we have non-verbal communication. The body language plays a vital role. Body language can say more than words. A recent university study on how people receive information has these results. 55% of what we learn from others come from their body language. 38% of what we learn from others come from their tone of voice. And 7% of what we learn from others come from the words they say. So we can just see that 55% is learned by the body language. Body language plays a vital role. 38% is through the tone of voice, and 7% is just the words that we utter. This is just a pictorial form of what I said just now. Positive non-verbal communication. We need to be smiling. There is nothing like a smile and pleasant face to greet a person, especially if he or she has a complaint. Eye contact should be there. Always look into the receiver's eyes, directly address people. How you look, personal grooming has a big impact on others. Let people know you take your position seriously. Shaking hands. When shaking hands with a person, a firm and professional handshake is expected. That is a positive non-verbal communication. So before I close, let me tell you that recently we had attended one workshop, and in that workshop, a slide was shown to all the participants. Few participants, they were sent out of that particular presentation, that place, and some of the participants, they were called to narrate what they had seen in the slide, what they had read in the slide. So when the communication started, one by one, the participants, they were asked to enter, and they were supposed to explain what was there in the slide. So when the communication started, probably it went out of track. What was mentioned in that particular slide was nothing was, told regarding that. Another story was developed, and that created all confusion. So we need to be very perfect, very particular when we talk about when we talk to the people, what we are communicating and how we are communicating, that is very important. So this is all from my side. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Suraj.